Does this thing still even work anymore? What's going on, guys? J-Hoy back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 8 of our franchise mode with the Anaheim Ducks. So yes, we did not forget about this series and we did not forget about YouTube, but we're going to have a video kind of explaining what kind of went on in a couple videos from now, a few videos from now, something like that. But either way, we are back here with episode number 6 of our franchise mode with the Ducks. And we are in the offseason. Again, after another playoff exit, we are here to try to rebuild our team. And if you look at our team, we're actually not in a bad spot. So taking a look at our team, here is a look at the centers. So I was pretty happy with our center depth, if you will. So Zegras, Strome, McTavish, we even have Lundstrom down there who kind of played a lot at left wing last year, and Grant. That's kind of our 5 centermen. Those guys are fine, don't really have a problem with that. Obviously, you know, McTavish had a good start, but then kind of fell off a little bit, changed around some lines. Strome moved into that second line role, and we kind of bounced around from there. So I'm pretty happy with that so far. Now, if someone's not performing, I guess that's a different story, but at least for the 5 centermen we have, happy with that. Left wing. So we have Bertuzzi, right? He still has 4 years on his contract, or I guess I think we extended him to that. Because, yeah, we made the trade or signed him off-season, something like that. Kublik, who we traded for, we could re-sign him. He does want like $4.5 million, so we might end up going to free agency with him to see if we can bring him back. But we'll see where we go with him. Jake DeBrusk, I think we did sign to an extension. Can I see that here? I think we did sign DeBrusk to an extension, if I remember correctly, because he has a lot of trade value, so I'm pretty sure we did. As far as the rest of the guys go, we have a few guys that definitely want to make a jump this year, so depending on how free agency goes, we might end up getting someone from there. Right wings. I'm pretty confident with our right wing situation with Terry, Mercer, Comfort, and even White down there. We have Perreault that definitely could make a jump if he performs. Kapanen just didn't fill the role that we were kind of hoping for him. He kind of just like instantly sucked and then kind of went down to the AHL and sucked even worse. So he'll probably be gone. Defensively, Fowler, Drysdale, Klingberg all under contract along with Fabro. We definitely have some defensemen in our organization that easily could be on that third line. So we're not going to focus too much on defense going into the offseason, but more of just maintaining what we have. Goaltenders, we're already kind of like 5 deep, even 3 deep for the NHL. So it'll kind of be a battle of Stellaris and Dostal for the backup spot in the NHL. We're expecting more from Gibson this year, that's for sure. And then we have pretty good depth in the AHL. So we're pretty good. We have Kapanen, some random AHL guy, and Brady Shea on our trade block. I don't really want to get rid of Shea, but might have to. But draft time. Let's get right into it. We have what even pick do we have? The 20th overall pick. So we do have a trade to announce. We have acquired the 13th overall pick in this year's draft in exchange for the 20th overall pick, as well as a 4th round pick from this year, and fast forward 2 years for another 4th round draft pick. The reason being is there's actually a guy I would really like on our team. So I think both of them are available, one more so than the other. So I did trade up to get Zane Inglis. I'll go with that. Now there is a good defenseman here as well. Shutdown ability, all the good grades there. 1 year until he'd be ready for the NHL. However, we already have a good left-handed side defensive depth, if you will. So I felt like getting a left wing that could be a goal scorer ready in 2 years, has some X factors on him, should be good. Now, like I said, I would love this other defenseman, but for now, I think we need a left wing more. 70 overall. I'm probably going to regret that, probably big time. I don't know how we just pulled that one off, but if you go back, we just acquired the 15th overall pick for 2 seconds. I'm sorry, the 15th and a third round pick from this year's draft in exchange for 2 seconds and Lundstrom. That was a steal of a trade. So I was wondering why why Boston didn't take that really good defenseman. And then I'm like, wait a second, I could possibly get that player too. So we're definitely going to get him because I don't know what these guys are doing. 74 overall, we'll probably be ready next year. Like, we'll take that. So we are here in the re-sign stage, and we kind of got down to our last 3 big decisions, and they're on your screen now. So we have Kubalik, Kapanen, and Shea. Now, we are fighting the cap, I'll say a little bit. So we have $13 million right now in cap space, and when you look at our team, we have a lot of money invested into some guys, and especially on the back end. So let me show you guys this. So as of right now, this is our current, cap chart with Drysdale, Fowler, Klingberg, Fabro, and Lindgren all signed to $2.5+ million a year. Now here's the problem. With having Brady Shea, if we were to re-sign him, he wants 4.5, like probably another $3+ million. Or we could have Lindgren up there on, let's just say, the second line or even the first line, depending on who he fits better with, and then have Minkanov, or whatever the this guy's name is, on our NHL team, or we call up somebody, or we sign some like random cheap guy to like $1 million, $1.5 million, something like that, $1 million. Then we have Kapanen, who is right in the middle of our team, where he's going to be at least on the third line. And he didn't really do too well last year. So is he, I could probably sign him for like a 1 year, $1.5 million contract. But is that worth it? I don't really know. Then you have Kubalik, who again will be on the second, maybe even third line. Is that worth it? I don't know. So I'm going to try. We only have a couple days left. Maybe we'll get him in free agency as well. But if they don't accept our next couple of offers, we'll go into free agency, see what they want then, or see what else is on the market. Start of the free agency, and we don't really have much we need this year, which is awesome to see. We only really have the left wing spot that was I guess you could call it vacated by Kubalik, as well as, who am I missing? Brady Shea. But we pretty much, like I said, have that really good young left-hand defenseman that will be most likely filling in that spot. If not, we got a couple of like depth guys that could easily fit in there. Other than that, we need a couple of depth AHL guys, and then kind of see what else is on the market. So we do have new coaches that hopefully will sign in the next couple days. And then when we look through all of the free agents, we actually have already offered a couple offers. Now those being Jonathan Taves and Mike Hoffman. Now you might be asking, why would you sign another centerman? I thought you were happy with your centers, and I am. But the thing is, if you look, his salary expected is $2.375 million. We offered him $2.5 million at 2 years, 36 years old, and he's an 85 overall. Now, if somehow we started to do awful this year, we could easily trade him with a decent amount of trade value and get something decent back in a trade. Mike Hoffman, I'll say low-cost option for our third-line left wing. Most likely one of our guys will end up missing out on the roster, but either way, we'll have some quality, pieces in place for our NHL team. And there's actually one more possible signing, depending on how free agency plays out. We might be signing another goaltender. Now, you may be wondering, well, why would you do that? Like, you already have John Gibson. Well, if you look, we actually have some pretty, I'll say, big name goaltenders on the market right now. and we might be able to scoop one of them up. Now, what I'm talking about is actually Hellebuck. Now, the only thing is, he's an 88 overall. He also wants $6 million, which is already what we have Gibson for, so I don't really want to spend that much money on goaltenders. But we already have our team kind of solidified, and we might be able to steal one of these guys away. Now, if it's not Hellebuck, maybe we get a Fleury for a little bit, lower money, or we get like a Francois here for a lot less money, and to try to challenge Gibson to hopefully make him better. And if not him, then we have some lower cost guys down here. You know what I mean? So we have options, and we might end up using those options if things go in the right direction. So we're going to play this one day at a time, kind of see if he drops that asking price, and see what our coaches think, and go from there. So things look a little bit different as we enter the preseason. I know I didn't show you guys a lot, but it was a lot of trying to figure out how I can make this team work. And we end up signing Marc-Andre Fleury to I think it was 1-year deal at $3.5 million. We signed Taves, we signed Hoffman, we end up signing Max Pacioretty super late into free agency, almost into the start of the season, or start of the preseason, I should say. 1 year, $1.5 million, super good deal, 84 overall. So we have him. What else did we do? We have a goaltender log jam, if you will. But this is going to be the preseason opening night of preseason roster. We have lots of position battles this year. Some obvious ones that are going to make the team probably no matter what. But most of those guys have been sent down to the AHL, so we can give these guys a chance to showcase what they can do for us. But as you can see, we have a completely different looking team right now. So we brought up Tracy, obviously Strom's there, Mercer, Perot's up here, McTavish, Pacioretty, like I said, that we signed late, Hoffman, Taves, Nylander, White, Grew is up here. So a completely different looking team. A lot of the normal guys, like I said, are not on the team right now. Defenseman, completely different story. Almost all these guys, with the exception of maybe Mikir. I need to find players that have easier to pronounce last names, because holy crap. But Mint over here, I guess we'll go with Mint. We're trying him out on the first line. Obviously, we'll move these guys around throughout the preseason. And in net, we have Dostal and Fleury. So Dostal actually jumped up to an 85 overall after the last couple of years in the AHL. Really solid years, so he kind of deserves that the overall upgrade, if you will. So Fleury's going to be backing him up to start. And then, of course, we have Stellares, and also we have Gibson. So we have all those guys. We have Comfer, and like I said, once you go down here for all of the big-name guys, Bertuzzi, Zegras, Terry, DeBrusque, and I think that's it. And Gibson, obviously, as a goaltender. But for the most part, we have a lot of good players, and we don't have a lot of positions open, but we're going to have fun with it. That's for sure. A big preseason battle. We might have to send some of these guys on waivers and kind of see where they go, or try to trade them and see what we get back. But for now, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Another big offseason here in Anaheim. A lot of really big signings. I can't wait to see how the preseason battle unfolds. But like I said, that's going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below if you haven't yet. Or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe. Turn post notifications on so you never miss an upload. And don't forget, you can always change your mind later. With all that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
In the shadows.